May profits be upon you. Welcome to another Market Watch updates. This time, we're going over the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, the Dow, gold, silver, and oil. All right. I want to make sure to mention that I just finished the Market Watch updates for the, the, the FX markets, the Forex markets, for the US dollar index, for the Euro USD, Pound USD, Aussie dollar USD, New Zealand dollar USD, USD CAD, USD Swiss, and USD JPY. I'll leave the link at the bottom of this video. Okay, now let's take a look at the S&P. Remember what the forecast was? I put that out on, what was that, Saturday or Sunday, one or the other. All right, and we're going to see how we're looking. This is the weekly time frame. And we can see, I pointed out, highlighted this fair value gap, the bullish fair value gap on the weekly. And I said there was a possibility, there's the potential for price to use this fair value gap for higher prices. All right. Do I think the S&P is going to go higher? Of course, because it's designed to go higher. However, are we going to retrace first? That is the question. Now, oops, I don't know what that was. Okay. All right. I also pointed out on the daily, what we can see is we have an overlapping daily fair value gap, overlapping the weekly for fair value gap. And I think that is the design of price, the intent of price, I should say, to make it down there so that it could sweep all of this, all these ascending lows. All right. That is a draw for sell side liquidity. And if we come down there, then we could find support for higher prices after that. That would be a nice little dip buying opportunity for sure. Now, as far as today goes, we gap down. What did I say as soon as I gave that forecast? I remember saying, well, because it was opening time, the opening the market open on Sunday, and we opened up down here. I said, "Oh, look at that gap. We're going to fill that up immediately. We're going to go right up to that top." And I said it twice. And I said, "You heard what I said, right?" And we can see how it happened, how it came out. All right. I hope you were able to catch this going up. If you did, make sure you leave a comment so that I can shout you out. All right. Now, this is the new candle for Tuesday, but this is a strong bullish close on a Monday before CPI data comes out tomorrow morning. That's very interesting, isn't it? Why they bring the price up. Market makers like to do that. Before the day of a high impact news item like CPI or maybe NFP or interest rate decisions, they like to go the opposite way before they go to consolidation, or they go the opposite direction to give the institutional players, smart money, a better price to get in before the actual move hits. Okay, so pointed out this on the this is the 4 hour, right? I looked at this fair value gap, and I said price is coming back up here. We filled the gap, the volume imbalance. Price pushed all the way up to take this high, and you see the reaction. I think what we need to watch on the 4 hour is this bullish fair value gap here. If it falls, if it fails, I should say, we're probably going down further. That's all there is to it. And all we need is a signal. All right, this would signal, a close below this fair value gap on the 4 hour is going to signal that we're coming down to, at the very least, towards the fair value gap that I already pointed out with the weekly and the daily overlapping. There's a small, thin weekly fair value gap that has been used already. All right, that has been used already. Um, is that the use there? I'm not even sure if that's the use. Hold on, if it used it there. Yeah, that's the established it. This is an untouched uh, weekly fair value gap, and I expect a reaction. I expect a reaction. So the price comes down here. If we break this, I'm looking for price to make its way down to these relative equal lows, which is a strong draw on liquidity by itself. We might see a pullback, and then we're going to hit this. I expect some kind of reaction here. I don't know if it's going to be a reversal or not, because I'm hoping that we get a better price down here. All right, if price comes down here, this is going to be a high probability trade, but we're going to watch this untouched weekly fair value gap. It's very thin, but we're going to see what it does when it gets there. That's why I got that little green arrow down there. Okay, let's look at the NASDAQ. NASDAQ, very similar, but a little different. All right, we hit the top. We got that bullish rise there, right? We actually swept the high of Friday, but we didn't close through it. We did not trade through it. So, what is the intent on price? I don't know. But if the intent of price was to go higher, it would have closed a body past that high. It would have closed the body past that high. Maybe it does tomorrow. Maybe it does with this new candle that's opening now. Who knows? All right, we're going to see how it finishes it. How it finishes. If we go down to the weekly, the 4 hour, we have the 4 hour bullish fair value gap here, and price could definitely use it to go higher. Maybe to sweep this high and this high. Maybe with CPI data, and then we fall. Who knows? But we're going to watch this. We're going to watch that fair value gap, just like we're going to watch it on the S&P. Okay, we're going to keep an eye on it, but I do think that price will head down, and for a retracement, I think it's time for a retracement, but we have to wait until we see the price action, uh, match up with what we're talking about. This is the Dow. Dow is given a peak. Maybe it might be given a peek into the future. All right, we have a weekly fair value gap. All right, price is making its way down to it. I said earlier that in the forecast that it could use it to go higher, to make higher prices. All right, if we go to the daily, we have the daily overlapping that weekly fair value gap. There's a lot of space in between there, and you see how we had a bullish close for the day for the Dow, but it didn't go all the way up and take out that high. Nope, a little weaker, isn't it? uh, I think we're coming down, and we're going to see if we get that bounce here. Maybe we get some deeper penetration down to this CISD all the way down here. All right, which is right above a fair value gap, an untouched fair value gap. So I'm looking for a retracement with the Dow, and I just don't know how deep it's going to go just yet. We're going to find out. All right, gold. Gold, I was looking for more upside with gold, right? I'm not sure why I don't see any of the markings here, but you can see uh, we're in this consolidative range. All right. The best way to play this is to, if it hits the top, we take sales to the bottom. If it hits the lows, we take sales to the top. That's it. All right. We just wait for our breaks of structure in those directions. Okay. But on a weekly basis, this is telling us that we just swept the previous high on Friday, the last week's high. All right. And we are starting bearish already. That's interesting to me. I think, we might be, the market might be feigning weakness before it makes its move up. Now, why do I have this mark Tuesday? Do you remember what the forecast said? I said, man, if the market gives us a good close where it leaves a bullish fair value gap, that's going to tell me that we're heading up. And what do you know? Where's that bullish fair value gap? Right there. From here, to there. Matter of fact, let me make it a good one. Right there. All right. That's it. That is the daily. bullish fair value gap that I was hoping would form. It did form, and we have the new candle opening up. I'm looking for it to touch down and move higher. That's what I'm expecting. All right. This is the time to look for that your entry model here. All right. When it comes into contact, you're going to go to the corresponding time frame. The daily goes down to the hour. All right. And what you're going to be looking for is how is it going to make its way down to this doggone, what do you call it? The bullish fair value gap? How? All right. Let me show you how. In a bearish fair value gap right now. Right? It hasn't closed yet. It looks like it's going to disrespect, right? But it hasn't closed yet. Right? It may turn into a wick and close within that bearish fair value gap. We're going to find out. All right? But this is one way it could make that journey down. All right? I want to see it give us an entry. All right. This high looks like it should be taken. All right. Because this high didn't form a new low. All right. That means it's probably going to end up as liquidity. Okay. And this would make sense. You see what I just did? We swept that high and then came down. That is external liquidity. I'm looking for price to come back and take back that sell side liquidity down here. And oops, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get to it. Doggone it. All right, well, I keep drawing stuff. All right, so there, we have this the high here as a liquidity point. There you go. All right, and I want to see price take that high. All right, it would be better for it to take that high and then come down here. All right. If it takes the low first, if it takes these lows first and then joins, then we're probably heading up. But this would be a higher, this would be a better price, is what I'm trying to say. All right. If we come all the way up here, that would be kind of crazy. That would be kind of crazy if we make it all the way up here. And it's not out of the question because we got CPI data tomorrow, but I don't want to see. I want to see that fail actually. So I want to see the market sweep these lows into this fair value gap and then bounce higher. That's what I'd like to see. Let's go to silver. All right, silver. If we go to the weekly, no, we don't need to go to weekly. This is where it's at. All right, it's been just one rocket ship. I said in the forecast, there's no reason to look for sells or anything. There is no reason to look for sells. We have a bullish fair value gap. I pointed that out in the forecast, but I was hoping for this candle. This is a long candle, and I said that there's a lot of room there for a bullish fair value gap, and we formed one. Haha! Today's candle closed with leaving a bullish fair value gap. And a price could use this bullish fair value gap to move higher. We pushed up, we traced, and then we can make another push to the upside. This is what I'm looking for. If this fair value gap gives, there's another one waiting for it, and that is well within the fib, pullback, uh, levels like 618, 705. That's down here. All right, 705, 786. If it comes that deep, that's fine. But what we want is it to dip below that 50%. That's what we want to see. And I think we have a great chance at doing that so that we can see higher prices. I hope you hear me. Let's go to one more. This is crude oil. Been watching this bullish fair value gap. This is a monthly, right? No, I'm wrong. It's a weekly fair value gap that I pointed out here. All right. From this low to this high, this is a weekly fair value gap, price came in here with a lot of momentum, right? And then we started pushing up, pushing up. And it took out that high and closed above that weekly fair value gap. That is a very good sign that price is going to go higher. Um, but the next candle did a reversal on, and we did not close higher than that candle. So if we go down to the daily, what are we supposed to? How are we supposed to read that? Well, uh, the market hit a bearish fair value gap here. All right, let me move this. Hit a bearish fair value gap on the daily. This is a daily, big old daily fair value gap, and it swept these highs today. Those highs were swept, and it kind of indicates that there's no reason for it to go higher. All right, for the moment, but we did not get that deep close below. We didn't get that engulfer, a hard engulfer uh, on these the previous candles. This is consolidation, but it's drifting up. What am I? How am I supposed to read this? This looks like a pullback, and it could go higher. It may not. It doesn't have to though. It can start making its way down further as we look at the headlines. And oh, I'm sorry. As we look at the headlines, you know what OPEC has been doing, raising the rate of production, the production, and that lowers the price of oil and all of that stuff. Uh, there's a lot of things that you know that, that we have to consider when we talk about oil. It's very sensitive to geopolitical situations like the Ukraine Russia war and Trump's involvement in it, and which side he's on, which side he seems to be helping or exasperated with. So uh, oil prices can fluctuate real hard, especially with OPEC doing its thing. So I'm expecting lower prices. Yes, I am. Um, so we're going to see if price starts to make its way down because it's building up sell side liquidity in these lows. Why not sweep those lows before going higher or before going, before it comes out of this weekly fair value gap? Now, I want to point out one more thing about this weekly fair value gap. If we go to the weekly, all right, what I want to watch out for is the engulfment of these bullish candles. If we see another candle take these lows, then we can count on the fair value gap to fail. Okay, and there is another one below it. Okay, oops, there is another one below it, but just remember we are coming off of this daily fair value gap. If we see when price comes into contact with a fair value gap, I want to see two candles, one going in, one coming out. And I want to see that next one take the high. In this case, I want to see it sweep the high and then take out and trade through the low. If not this candle, the one right after it. I want to see a succession of lower closes below the low of the previous candle once it makes contact with a fair value gap. That confirms that fair value gap is going to hold and it's going to do its job. You understand? And then you can start to say, all right, you have confirmed I've seen a confirmation that price intends to go lower. I can now take a trade, take a sell with confidence. You understand what I'm saying? All right. That's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Uh, Hit the like button, hit the boost button if you did, and I can make some more. I'd be encouraged. Make sure you check out the other videos. The one I just put out just before this one was on the FX pairs, the Forex pairs. So I'll leave a link at the bottom of this video, and I want you to trade carefully and do leave a comment. I answer all the comments. I respond to all the comments. I will see you in the next video, and thank you for watching.